Hello and welcome to my podcast. My name is Zoe Lulinski, and today I'll be talking about just some more news and my top 10 heading into week 11. If you guys didn't know, the witch is dead in Chicago. Luke Getsy has been fired as offensive coordinator on the Chicago Bears. Something that I think has been just long awaited for the Bears for a while. And to give you some context, after that Hail Mary game against the Commanders 3 weeks ago, the Bears have not had a single touchdown. So that's 23 straight drives without a touchdown. And a little line I have here is the Bears have had one drive total longer than 21 yards and only one play longer than 12 yards in that time period. I just don't think that's acceptable for the NFL, so I see why it happened. I'm not surprised by the move with those facts I mentioned. And also, the Bears recently just lost to the Patriots 19-3. The Patriots are 2-7, if you guys didn't know, and they allowed 9 sacks on Caleb Williams, which I just don't think is acceptable. Even in all those moments, they tried to space them out, try to do so much. Some of those plays I thought were really weird. Like, they ran Caleb out to either end to just try to get him out of the pocket. They tried different things. On some of those plays, though, they allowed the back end to be free, which caused some sacks, which just shouldn't happen. If you're letting the back end be free, you should have quick open routes. And looking downfield, there just wasn't anything open. I found a lot of his play schemes or play calls questionable. So, like I said, I'm just not surprised by the firing. And, as a Bears fan, I'm really excited to see where they go from there. We're placing our passing game coordinator, Thomas Brown, as our interim offensive coordinator, which, I'm not mad about the move. He replaced the Panthers' play calling duties for a game against the Bears last year, actually. The Panthers at the time were 0-6, though, so I don't know if you can really tell that much from it. But I don't know. I do find it funny that he's on the Bears now coaching offensive plays for the Bears after coaching against them last year. But like I said, I'm hoping this starts a spark for the Bears. They've had 3 straight losses now. They were 4-2 and now are 4-5, so it's about time for a change. And I'm curious if it will change the future for Matt Eberflus. As you know, he's been on the hot seat for a while, so I'm curious if this change will help with that. Heading into my top 10, I have the Lions. I don't really see how you could change their spot. It almost seems like they could just do whatever they want. At their worst game this season so far, they were down. Jared Goff had 5 interceptions. Why can't I be a fan of a team that throws 5 interceptions and still finds a way to win? Oh my gosh. But yeah, the Lions, they had a great comeback win against the Texans, and I think that just proves that they deserve to remain at the number 1 spot. Despite their first half struggles, they came back strong. Didn't let anything deter them, and came away with a win. Their kicker also, oh my god, those last 2 kicks he had were like inches away from hitting the field goal post. It was insane. I think it was a really good win by them. And then I also think it shows the struggles that the Texans have coming up. But at number 1 in my top 10, I do have the Lions still. At number 2, I have the Chiefs. In my opinion, that was a very lucky win by them. It's also divisional, so divisional games are always going to be closer. That's kind of just how they are naturally. But it was a really interesting game to watch. The Chiefs won on a blocked field goal kick. Again, these last 2 teams that I've mentioned, the Lions and Chiefs, are both showing how good teams find ways to win. And everyone talks about the Chiefs being so lucky with the refs and all of this, but really think about it. Good teams like the Chiefs, they have experience, they know how to win, and that's really all that matters. And you show that they're 9-0 right now, and knowing how to win in those final minutes is the key to success. You can play well throughout the entire game, but if you don't have experience, it just might not work out. They know how to win. They've won back-to-back Super Bowls. Very likely could win another one if everything goes their way. I think they're definitely number 2. But, what a game by Bo Nix and the Broncos, for sure. Ravens, I had move up a spot over the Bills. That win against the Bengals that the Ravens had was really, really fun to watch. They won by a point, stopping the 2-point conversion that the Bengals had. Again, the Bengals always play well in division, and I think they're much better than their record shows, as I'll talk about that later. But the Ravens offense looked dominant as it did, you know, most of the past few weeks. Their defense, I don't think it's as good as it was last year. I know we were talking about you could think about the fact that the Ravens were front runners to go to the Super Bowl last year by the end of the year, but that Ravens defense is still dominant. I know a couple of their guys got injured, but they're really good. Bills, I have it at number 4. Josh Allen struggled a little bit against the Colts, but I mean, good teams find ways to win, and that's what they did. Bills at 4. I have the Eagles. The Eagles started at number 5. I have the Eagles. Again, the Eagles started off slow during the season, but I mean, have picked up right where they should be. They're with this win this past week against the Cowboys, also in division. They take the number 1 spot in their division as the Commanders lost. So they're 7-3. I'm really excited for that game next week. The Eagles against Commanders. I think that's going to be a game to watch. So I'm super excited where that goes. At number 6, I have the Vikings. The Vikings, picked up where they left off from the week prior. Still playing solid. I don't have much else to say, but I think they deserve it. Number 6. Number 7, I have the Steelers. Steelers beat the Commanders this past week, so that was a really fun game to watch. And Mike Williams got his first touchdown with the team. I think just having those weapons for Russell Wilson and then that defense is just insane. They came to play against the Commanders, and I moved them up a bit. And then the Commanders at 8. I have the Commanders at 8. The Commanders just had a couple woes here and there in the game. Nothing on Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels played pretty well. But I have the Commanders at 8. Packers had a bye week. I have them at 9. And then new to the top 10, I have the Cardinals. The Cardinals the past few weeks have played really well. Their defense is stepping up every single week, getting better and better. Honorable mentions, I have the Chargers. The Chargers have, I think the last 6 weeks have not let any more than 17 points for their opponents, which is really impressive. And then I think they've had 22 plus points in all of those games as well. So, they're going the right direction with Jim Harbaugh. And then the Texans, Buccaneers, and 49ers are also have in that area where they, could be getting back into the top 10. The Texans are a confusing one because, they almost beat the Lions. They had high expectations coming into the season. But they had a lot of second half woes, especially you could see that against the Lions. So I think they need to fix some of that before I can add them to back into the top 10. And then just a few teams here that I think could make a late playoff run is the Bengals. They're 4-6. They played insanely well against the Ravens. They showed they can compete with the top teams in the league. They had a bit of a slow start, but they're only a couple games out of the wild card. I think they could still make it. The Dolphins as well. They just got Tua back. They're 3-6, so they're a little farther back than the Bengals, but they're another team I'd say to watch out for. They're going to have to be relying on their defense, though, if they're going to get there. And the 49ers as well. They're 5-4. I think they're a game back in their division. I could be wrong about that, but that's another team to watch out for. They just got Christian McCaffrey back. Brock Purdy is coming off of one of the best games of the season for him. And that defense, that defense is still top defense in the league. So they're a team to watch out for. And then the Bucs are 4-6. Mike Evans should be coming back in week 12 after their bye week this week. They're playing this well without their top 2 receivers. And I just think that once they get Mike Evans back and they get a little healthier, I think they could still make a run at it. And then the Broncos, they're 5-5 and in the wild card spot. So this isn't more of like a push, but it's really exciting to watch them play this year. I think they're surpassing expectations. Bo Nix is playing really well in his rookie season. And on that topic of rookies, this rookie class so far has played really well. Bo Nix on the Broncos, Jaden Daniels on the Commanders, and then Drake May on the Patriots. Obviously, the Patriots are 3-7 right now. He came in halfway through and has showed progression in every single one of their games, and he's looked really, really good. I wish we could watch JJ McCarthy play. Obviously, we can't this year because he's hurt, and the Vikings don't need him right now, but I'm really curious to see how he plays once he does eventually get in. And then Caleb Williams, obviously he hasn't played to standards that people put him at, but I almost think that the rookie quarterback opinions are just like, they're a little too high. That's not like, look in the past, rookie quarterbacks aren't supposed to be expected to play well. They're rookie quarterbacks. Like, that is that is a hard position to play. And almost feel like CJ Stroud just completely changed the view on rookie quarterbacks. He should have been an anomaly. And obviously there's rookie quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels. He's playing great right now in the MVP conversations. But I personally think it's okay, and you got to take some pressure off of Caleb Williams and other rookie quarterbacks. Like, let them be rookies. I mean, do you remember Peyton Manning's first season? He had, 20-something interceptions, and he ended up being a Hall of Famer. So I think you need to take a step back with that. Caleb Williams, I mean, his offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, was just fired, So just taking a step back. His offensive line is insanely injured. So I think we need to calm down on the expectations there for rookie quarterbacks. But the Rams, I also have the Rams. They're 4-5 right now. Seahawks are also 4-5, same division. I think they're a little less likely to make the playoffs, but the Rams, like I've said before, got their 2 wide receivers back. Matthew Stafford, you can never count out Matthew Stafford, So I think they're a team to watch. The wild card spot, 7th seed, is 6-3 right now with the Packers. So the NFC is slightly better than the AFC, but both sides are competitive. So I'm really excited to see where that goes. That should be it for me. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Remember that. We'll see more coming maybe for some other teams. So don't get me going, and I'll see you guys next time.